Do you want to be on top? Here in NUST, nothing is impossible. NUST can help you to achieve your dreams and to soar high. I am Mariel Artapadera, Top 8, the top NUST. And the question is, are you the next top notcher? And this morning, we will talk about that. So let me share my screen to everyone. In this session, I'm going to give the ways and also some tips on how you are going to top the board. Are you ready? Sounds good. And let's start with this objective. And this objective is I hope and we all hope that you should be able to, that's right, that you should be able to top the board. And in order to feel that vibe, I want you in this very moment to whisper yourself or at least shout it. I will top the board. Everybody, I will top the board. And another one is to make this discussion interactive. Kapag po tinanong ko na papasa ba, dapat sasagot kayo magtatap. Okay? So, papasa ba? Magtatap. That's good. And as a start, let us have this game. And this is entitled Guess Who? And all you need to do is to identify the prominent person which is being described in the description. And will you please comment your answer on our comment section? Get it? Okay, let's start. For the first one, notice that young children consistently made certain types of mistakes that older children and adults imitate. This led this developmental psychologist to theorize that young children's cognitive processes are different from those of adults. So, my dearest future top-notchers, guess who? Sino kaya ang developmental psychologist na ito? And you've got it right. He is Mr. Jan Piaget. And for our next item, get ready. So, itype na po ang sagot for our second item. Most famous contribution was a research on how cats get out of the problem boxes. Guess who? Okay, let's see. Sino kaya ang prominent person na to in the field of education? Please type your comments in our comment section below. And you got it right. That is, or he is, Edward Thorndike. Then for our third item, was identified as the 83rd most influential psychologist during the 20th century. And now, type your answer. Guess who? Okay, so let us see. Then, that's right. He is Lev S. Vygotsky. And he is known for his social development theory and also in the concept of scaffolding and providing assistance to students. And for our last item, let us have this. Developed the use of talk therapy and also known for his psychosexual theory. Sino kaya ang prominent person na ito in the field of education? Okay, type your answer. You're right. He is Sigmund Freud. Nakakatuwa, di ba? Nabalikan yung mga tao na minsan kinabisado natin, no? Gabi-gabi. So, you should always remember that those persons give a wide contribution in the field of education today. And I hope that you enjoy our game. Guess woo! Okay, so now let me share to everyone my destination. So, para sa umagang ito, naisip ko na para magkaroon din kayo ng pagkakataon na itap ang board, ay ishe-share ko kung ano yung mga pinagdaanan ko on the beginning, while, and also some additional tips on how I became a top notcher. So as you can see, we have here three destinations or three steps. So this destination will be complete. The first one is getting ready to be the top. That is the first step, and that is the hardest step. Then for the second one is take it. This is the part when I give some actual testing experience and also some testmanship skills. And the last and the final destination is race to the top, no? Not rise to the top. Why? Because you are gearing towards on becoming a top notcher. So kaya dun muna tayo sa term na race. You need to raise yourself to be one of those top notchers. Okay, are you ready? That's good. So let us start. And this is getting ready to be the top. And the answer that we need to give emphasis is on how you are going to be a top notcher. First one is you need to assess yourself. It is just like when you are teaching, you need to assess your students. Ganun din po sa pag-take ng exam. You need to assess yourself. You need to know what are your strengths and weaknesses. Even though this is cliche, lagyan natin ng twist. Karaniwan kasi ang tanong, ano yung mga subjects na mahina ka? At ano yung mga subjects na malakas ka, tama? Pero let us put a twist on that. Let us be more realistic. Kasi ito ang tinanong ko sa aking sarili. Know what will be the reason why will you fail or pass the exam. Bakit ka nga ba papasa? Bakit ka nga ba karapat dapat pumasa? At bakit ka babagsak? And then, in this moment in time, you need to reflect with that. Kapag nakuha mo yung sagot, you need to cut it off. Dapat tanggalin mo yun. Dapat alam mo sa sarili mo on how you're going to improve yourself. It is just like, for example, alam mo sa sarili mo na mawawalan ka ng oras sa pagre-review. So what will you do? You need to make sacrifices. You need to take away other things that will hinder on the time that you will review. Another one is also the subjects. Kasama na din dito yan sa pangkalahatan. For example, me, I knew that I have difficulty in mathematics. Kaya sabi ko sa sarili ko, when the time comes, kailangan ko talagang pag-igihin yung pag-review ko sa math. And for the second one, after you assess yourself, naku, ang dami ko pa palang dapat matutunan. So, you read it right. You need to find the best review center. Yung alam mo na kaya kang gawing top-notcher. But mind you, hindi lahat talaga nakukuha sa review center. Your foundation is here in NUST. Yung mga pagkukulang lamang, yun ang ibibigay sa iyo ng review center. At ano ang pinakamahalaga mo makukuha in review center? So, my dearest future top-notchers, it will help you to establish preparedness. Alam nyo, sa review center, doon ko natutunan kung ano yung feeling or yung vibes nang nandun ka sa actual testing center. Doon rin nila ituturo sa inyo yung mga techniques, ways, and strategies on how you're going to rationalize correctly each problem. Kaya, isa sa pinakamahalaga ay yung mag-invest ka kung saang review center ka magre-review or you will be enrolled. And if you don't have any money, mom, naku, wala po kaming pang-review. So, take this third tip. Look for review books. So, kung wala ka talagang pang-review sa anumang review center or saan mang review center, go to National Bookstore. Bought some books. O kaya naman, kung wala talaga, seek help to others. Pumunta ka doon sa mga kakilala mo na pumasa na sa review. And then, humiram ka sa kanila ng mga review materials. And also, mind you, that you should always seek help for those students or for those who already now licensed professional teachers on how they passed the board exam. Di ba, kwentuhan lang kayo at matutulungan ka niya. Magaguide ka niya kung saan ka dapat magsimula at kung ano yung mga points na dapat mong paglaanan or pagtuunan ng oras. Read, and read. Napakahalaga po lagi ang magbasa. Alam nyo, isa sa pinaka-dilemma ko before I take the board exam is that nagtrabaho kasi ako. I need to provide for my family. Kaya talaga nga naman kapag meron akong sobrang oras, see to it that I read, and read. Nagbabasa lang ako. Kaya kayo, in this moment, samantalahin nyo yung pandemic. Magbasa ng magbasa. Lalong-lalo na po may dearest BEd teachers, napakahalaga sa isang bid takers ang pagbabasa. Kasi yung general education, it will surprise you. Hindi mo alam kung ano yung lalabas na item. Kaya, sabi ko nga, magbasa, at magbasa pa rin. Then, do not settle with just one review book. Huwag mo hahayaan na doon ka lang mag-settle. O okay na yan. Naku, napakaraming pwede kang hiraman, napakaraming libro na pwede mong mabasa. Kaya mahalaga na mag-venture out ka sa iba't ibang review center. O kaya naman, di ba, may mga friendly ka. Friendly, pahiram naman ng review nyo. Nagkataon kasi sa magkaibang review center kayo nag-review. So, palitan kayo ng review materials. Then, for the fourth one, while having test question drills, do not be contented by just knowing the answer. Ito po ay proven and tested ko at ito yung way kung paano ako mag-review. Kasi yung iba, nakasanayan nila na kapag nag-review, enough na nasagutan, tama? No, that is not enough. Hindi yun pang top-notcher. Kailangan, if you need to review, you need to look for other possibilities. You need to think beyond. You need to think outside the question. Pero don't overthink, ha? Wag naman yon. Halimbawa, let us have this example. Tabula rasa, a concept of education attributed to A. Lack, C. Comenius, B. Thorndike, and D. Herbart. And then, I knew, yan, no? Iko-comment na yung sagot, no? Alam ko na familiar kayo dito. Of course, the one who invented the term tabula rasa is Mr. John Lack, right? Eh, how about Comenius? How about Thorndike? How about Herbart? Ngayon, tanungin mo yung sarili mo, kilala mo ba sila? Paano kung dun sa actual board, sila yung itanong? Eh, ang na-review mo lang si John Lack at si Thorndike. So, that is thinking beyond the question. Pero hindi po yun yung pag-overthink. Kailangan, ang tawag doon, yung paglaruan mo yung tanong. Paano kung ito yung maging tanong? Paano kung ito yung hinihingi sagot? Ano kaya yung tanong? Yun. Kailangan practicein mo ang sarili mo in that way. Okay? So, yun nga po, ang sagot ay si John Locke. Then, tabula rasa, a concept of education attributed to. So, paano kung ang natira na lang na pamimilian ay sina Comenius, Thorndike, at sa Herbart? Now, let us have a drill. So, ganito po ang isang way ng tamang pag-review ng mga person. So, unahin mo yung mga person, yung mga prominent person, yung mga people no, in the field of education na you've encountered in your prof ed subject. And then, sulat mo sila, lagay mo kung ano ang kanilang contribution. So, let us have this. Just like what you've read a while ago, so Janla theorize or give birth on the tabula rasa. A human mind at birth is a complete but receptive blank slate, a scraped tablet or tabula rasa. So Comenius, he is the father of modern education and the writer of the great didactic. And Mr. Herbart, uh, he coined the term pedagogy, and that is the art and science of teaching, and also the theory of a perception. So, ganun lang, paulit-ulit mo lang siya. John Locke, tabula rasa. Comenius, father of modern education. Herbart, pedagogy, the art and science of teaching. Theory of a perception. And then, so babalik mo naman yan. Halimbawa, father of modern education, Comenius, art and science of teaching, Herbart. So that is the way on how you're going to make test drills. Para na sa ganon, yung retention ay malaki. Mas matatandaan mo siya ng paulit-ulit. So, yun nga. Another, Herbart. Yan, type nga po, Herbart. That is pedagogy, the art and science of teaching, that is theory of a perception. John Locke, tabula rasa. Comenius, the father of modern education and the writer of the great didactic. So for the fifth step, join different review group in FB. Ngayon, wala na talagang excuse para hindi ka makapag-review. There are a lot of groups in Facebook na pwede mong salihan. And it will make you updated. But, mind you, my dearest future top-notchers, you need to know if that particular review group are legit, no? Yung mga groups ba na yan ay tama ang binibigay na information. Then, for the sixth one, give time. Isa sa pinakamahalaga po, and I want to give emphasis on this. You need to give time. Giving time saan? Of course, in reading your review materials. Mind you, hindi basta-basta po nakukuha ang lisensya, lalong-lalo na ang pagiging top-notcher. It makes sacrifices. You need to give a lot of effort. Hindi yan basta, ay, magaling ako, ay, nakinig ako, ay, may mga uno ako. That's not it. Kahit sa simpleng oras na mailalaan mo, magbasa ka, no? Then, make it your priority. Diba? O yung mga, di ba, yung mga broken dyan. Ang hirap ng hindi ka priority. Kaya ano nangyayari at the end, di ba? It will turn into waste. So, kung ayaw mo na lahat ng effort mo ng 4 na taon, konti na lang yan, 3 buwan na lang yan. You need to make it your priority. And promise, take it from me, God will give you the best result. Just give time. Then, allot at least 2 to 3 hours every day for your review. Mahalaga na dapat talagang meron ka schedule in giving yourself a review time. O, ito, review time ko to. Wala akong dapat hawakan na iba. Wala akong dapat na asikasuhin na iba. Ako, unfortunately nga, I need to work. Kaya talagang I value time. way back ng 3 months ng preparation ko sa board exam. So kaya para po doon sa mga may part-time o kaya naman para sa mga working na, don't worry. That is not the hindrance. Ikaw ang hindrance kung hindi mo mababalance yung time. So, hangga't matagal pa ang panahon, my dearest future top-notchers, you need to give time. You need to allot at least 2 to 3 hours. Ako nga nun, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Ano yun, tuloy-tuloy talagang nag-review po ako. Then, eto yung mga ginawa ko, the time. I make a timeline, no? I made a timeline. So you need to read facts and concepts about your Gen Ed and major subjects. But my dearest future top notchers, it is up to you kung ano ba yung uunahin mo. Yung Prof Ed or yung Gen Ed. Kasi para sa akin, ang Gen Ed, it takes time. Dahil kailangan mong ma-rationalize sa sarili mo, no? Isa pa po yun. Hindi sapat na you know the concept, lalong-lalo na po sa Prof Ed subjects. Ang mga Prof Ed questions napaka-tricky. Lahat ng mga pamimilian ay halos magkakahawig. Then, nung second month ko, doon ako sa Prof Ed kasi malapit na siya. Kaya mas ma-retain ko. Ito kasing Gen Ed and major subject, no, lalong-lalo na po doon sa mga may specialization. Kailangan kasi diyan talaga ay basa lang ng basa. Kasi you never know what will be the item on the actual let. Ito kasing Prof Ed, pwede mo siyang madaya. Basta naturuan mo lang yung sarili mo on how you're going to rationalize each item. Makakapasa ka, no? Then, the last month before the actual board is, eto yung ginawa ko, do not read concepts anymore. Focus on test drills. So, wag na po kayo magbasa sa pag may natitira na lang kayo na 1 month. Ang kailangan nyo na lang gawin ay yung mga test drills. Yung question and answers na lang, no? Questions, answers, questions, answers. At napakahalaga din po dito na matutunan nyo yung mga pinaka-essential item talaga na possible na ma-encounter nyo on the actual board. And that will be on your pre-board exam. Kaya nga po, ang my second tip, mahalaga na mahalaga bilang isang mag-e-exam na kayo po ay maka-enroll sa isang review center at maranasan nyo yung mock board. And also, yung tinatawag na pre-board. So, alam nyo ba, I've remembered pa nga, nang ako ay nag-pre-board. So, bumili pa ako ng two polo shirts. Kasi sabi ko noon, naku, baka pag bumagsak ako nun sa pre-board, meron na namang another one, no, na polo shirt para yung kamalasan na no, ay hindi mo madala doon sa actual board. Pero walang ganun. Alam nyo, there is no such being lucky and being unfortunate when taking the let. It takes time, effort, hardship, sacrifices. No? Then, for the eighth one, have a checklist of documents and requirements to be prepared. So, mahalaga po, my dearest future top-notchers, na you know kung ano yung mga bagay na kailangan mong dalhin sa testing center. Why? Alam ko na some of you sasabihin, oy, dapat di na yun paalala ni ma'am. No. Kasi that petty mistake can give you the result that you doesn't want. Kasi halimbawa nakalimutan mo yung NOA mo or yung notice of admission mo, yung permit mo, what will happen to you? You will be pressured, magpapanik ka, hanggang nung mga panahon na yon hindi ka na makakapag-isip. Kaya kailangan be prepared. Kaya nga po, talagang binigyan ko ng emphasis yung getting to be ready on top. Kailangan ihanda mo yan a day before. Ako, no, kung gusto niyo gayahin, talagang itinabi ko yan doon sa aking higaan para paggising ko, kunin ko siya, lagay ko siya sa bag. So, pwede niyo din yun gawin. Kasi, there is an experience na kwento sa akin. So, napakagaling ng estudyante na yon. Pero alam nyo, he didn't made to pass. Bakit? Kasi na-rattle siya. Although may 1 hour pa, nakalimutan niya yung documents na, hindi ka papapasukin kahit ano gawin mo sa loob. Kaya, yun, umuwi siya, tapos nakaabot naman siya sa time, pero, exhausted na siya. Kaya, have a checklist. Oh, nadala ko na ba to? Oh, nandito na ba to? No? So that, yun nga, i-ready po. So, for the last one in our journey on getting ready to be a top-notcher, so familiarize yourself with the testing center. Ano po yung kailangan gawin? You need to visit the testing center a day before your exam. That's why ako po, when I am about to take the board, one day before, dahil nga working ako noon, one day before, nando na kami, pero alam niyo, wala kaming inaksayang oras kami magkakaibigan. Kami ay nagpunta sa iba't ibang simbahan. Tapos, yung aming final destination ay yung testing center. Why? Kasi nga, kagaya pa rin ng pagkalimot ng mga bagay na dapat mong dalhin. Paano kung bigla kang maligaw? Tapos biglang naubos yung oras. Tapos narattle ka, na-pressure ka. Promise, it will affect the way you think when you are going to take the exam. Okay? So, sige nga po, buhay pa ba? NAUST San Isidro, papasa ba? Magtatap. Okay, so now let us proceed on the next step. And that is take it. So this is the core of our discussion. Ano ba yung mga mahalagang bagay na dapat mong malaman kung nandun ka na sa loob ng testing center? Ayan, so let us have this. Let's take the exam. And also, I will give some testmanship skills on how you are going to top the board. Papasa ba? Magta-top. And then, sabay-sabay nga pong i-type at sabihin, this is my last board exam. Okay, sabay-sabay. This is my last board exam. No, wag ka nang uulit. Ayan. So, for the first tip, early bird catches the worm. Ibig sabihin, go to testing center an hour before. Napakahalaga po na maagang maaga ka doon. Kasi para maiwasan din yung mga traffic, cramming, iba kasi no, naka-encounter ng ganung problema. So, naka-apekto on the way they take the exam. Then, for the second one, ayan. So, and before I read the second tip, disclaimer lang po, no? And this method is what I got from CBRC, which is the review center that I've reviewed. So, that is the Carl method. So, credit po para sa CBRC, no? So, make use of the technique, the Carl method. So, C, comprehend. Una, pagbasa mo sa situation, intindihin mo siya. Read it with understanding. San po to kailangan-kailangan? When you are taking the prof-ed questions. Then, letter A, anticipate. For you, ano doon sa 4 na pamimilian yung dalawang sagot, yung best answer. Kasi di ba 50-50 na lang yon. Kasi mamimili ka na lang doon. Para sa'yo, ano kaya doon sa 4 na yon yung dalawang sagot na pwede or possible? Then, the third one, you need to rationalize. So, isipin mo na, bakit ito yung magiging sagot? Bakit ito ay hindi magiging sagot? And then, leverage. You eliminate the other option until ang matira na lang ay isa. So, remember that. The Carl method. You need to comprehend, intindihin ng mabuti ang binabasa, lalo na sa prof-ed subject or the prof-ed questions. Anticipate. Remove the two answers. Then, rationalize. So, ano kaya sa dalawa na ito ang pwedeng maging sagot? And leverage, mamili ka na. So, actually, hindi yan talaga yung pinakasunod-sunod, no? Iniba ko na lang siya. Pero, yun pa rin po, I give credit, no? From CBRC sa kanila nanggaling yan. So let us apply that, no, in this particular situation. After giving an input on a good paragraph, Teacher W asks her students to rate a given paragraph along the elements of a good paragraph. The student's task is in level of A. Application, B. Analysis, C. Synthesis, or letter D. Evaluation. Sige nga po, wild guess na, tingnan nga natin sa ating mga viewers and listeners na future top-notchers. Sige nga, itype nga po kung ano kaya sa apat na ito ang possible na sagot. But, let us apply. So, ito, after reading this particular item, you can say that merong pinapamarkahan, tama. Pero hindi lang yon. May binigay na kondisyon yung teacher. That is, yan, along the elements of a good paragraph. And that will be your clue. Kaya, ibig sabihin, hindi na pwede na maging sagot itong synthesis. Bakit? Wala namang pinagawa si teacher. Kasi when we say synthesis, that is all about creation, right? Then, also, pwede kasi na isipin mo na evaluation kasi may pinaparate, di ba? And when we say evaluation, that is judging the work. Pero, masyado naman na siyang mataas para sa sitwasyon na ito kasi ang ginagawa lang naman ay magbibigay ng rating considering the good elements of a paragraph. Kaya, if we apply anticipation, ang pwede na maging sagot dyan ay application and analysis. Bakit? Kasi iisipin nyo, Chuck, kailangan alam nyo yung elements of a good paragraph. That is application of what they learned, right? Pero, on the other hand, ngayon, kaya lang ang sabi dito, along the elements. So, meaning to say, by parts, i-rate nila as a whole yung paragraph. And, that is, pag sinabi natin na understanding the whole by taking its parts, that's right, analysis. So, yun na nga, leverage. Ang itinara mo na ay analysis. So, ganon. Another tip po, additional dito sa number 2, kapag hindi mo maintindihan yung tanong, read it twice. Pero may pagkakataon na sobrang haba kasi at hindi mo pa rin maintindihan, do not be discouraged. Read it 3 times. At kung ayaw pa rin, pahinga mo yung sarili mo, mahaba naman yung time ng Prof. Ed, ulitin mo ulit na basahin. Then, for the third one, make sure to shade your answer properly. Ako po, ang isa sa pinapayo ko talaga, make it yung black na black at yung madiin. Then also, natanong ko na din naman sa mga ibang nag-take. So, pumasa sila, ganun ang way ng kanilang pag-shade. Instead, doon sa ginagawa ng iba na ang pag-shade nila ay yung manipis lang na parang hindi mo masyadong kita yung pag-shade. And also, one indication, natatandaan ko before I pass my answer sheet, no? Yung ilalim, kakapain mo yun, kailangan naka-emboss. So, yun, para masabi mo talaga na madiin. Pero, no, wag naman yun to the point na parang mabutas-butas na yung answer sheet. Pero kagaya nga po ng sabi ko, the review center will help you on those particular things. Kaya it is important talaga na you need to have a review center. Then, for the fourth one, ayan, another testmanship skills na yung mga item na ganito ay magsisilbing bonus na lang. If there is an option which is all of the above, and the two choices are already the answer, choose all of the above, even the remaining option is not belong to the right answer. Ano po ibig sabihin? Kung may pamimilian na all of the above, at yung first two choices ay sagot na siya, or yun ay pinakasagot, at may matitira na lang na isa, huwag ka na makipagtalo doon sa tanong. Isagot mo na yung all of the above. Huwag mo sabihin na, ay pwedeng A, pwedeng B. So, walang ganon. Kasi naniniwala ang Board of Examiners na ang mga tanong nila ay isa lang ang sagot. So, let us have this question. Who are the behaviorists? Sino daw sa given 4 na ito yung mga behaviorist? A. Ivan Pavlov, B. Albert Bandura, C. John Piaget, or D. All of the above. Okay, sige nga, make a guess, no? Give your answer on our comment section. So, of course, the first two will be Ivan Pavlov and Albert Bandura, right? And then some will say, naku, hindi naman si John Piaget kasi cognitivist siya. And that's true. Tama po yun. Pero kagaya nga po ng sabi ko, mas marami kasi yung dalawa kesa sa isa. Kaya wala ka nang magagawa kundi isagot yung letter D or all of the above. Kasi hindi mo pwedeng isagot ang A or B. Walang ganun. Kasi para sa kanila, sa isang tanong, isa lang ang sagot. Okay? So that is the fourth tip. So let us proceed on the fifth tip. So synonymous options are wrong. Kung makikita mo doon sa tanong na yung dalawang pamimilian ay halos magkamukha ng meaning, eliminate mo na yon. So, doon ka na sa another two, mamili. Huwag mo nang ipagpilitan na yung sagot ay nasa dalawa na yon. Kagaya nga po ng sabi ko kanina, there is no such question na dalawa yung sagot. So, let us have this example. Papasaba, magtatap. In the TV show, Your Face Sounds Familiar, participants are asked to imitate music industry's icons. To be able to succeed in this endeavor, each participant need the following except A. Recreation, B. Remembering, C. Retention, and letter D. Attention. So, after reading the choices, ano yung dalawa dyan na magkamuka? Of course, the two, which is retention and remembering. When you remember, there is retention. Right? So, tatanggalin mo na ngayon yung B and C kasi wala doon yung sagot. So, eto pong tip na ito ay binibigay ko or pinapayo ko lamang if you didn't know really the answer. Kesa manghula ka, ang tingnan mong mabuti ay yung mga choices. So, ganun lagi kong sinasabi, no? Kapag ako po ay nag-review sa mga malalayong lugar. Ayan. So, making na ang natira na lang ay recreation and attention. So, ngayon, apply mo na yung Carl. Intindihin mo yung tanong. So, sabi sa tanong, yung participants daw ay ginagaya yung mga music industries icon. So, ano nga po ba yung theory na ito? Sige nga, i-type nga sa ating comment section. This theory is known as the SLT, yung Social Learning Theory ni Albert Bandura, right? So, kaya lang, ang tanong dito, alin yung hindi kasali? Is it recreation or attention? Ang mahirap sa mga ganito, no? Kailangan kabisado mo talaga yung stages or yung phases. May phases kasi yan. So, tingnan nga natin kung tama ang naging sagot ng mga nag-comment. The answer is A, that is recreation. Kasi ang tamang term dyan ay reproduction. Ito na yung time na gagawin na ng bata, yung kanyang tinagaya. So, for the sixth one, if you do not know the answer to the question, find a clue. Hindi yung tipo na, hala, hindi ko alam yung tanong, ano gagawin ko. No, wag kang mag-iisip ng ganun inside the testing center. Humanap ka, basahin mo ng basahin. Humanap ka ng clue or ng word na familiar sa'yo. At malay mo matulungan ka niya in finding the right answer So, let us have this example. Di ba ang hahaba, no? Ganyan po talaga ang mga tanong on the actual board. Kate, a 7-year-old child, always tell her friends not to talk to a classmate who happens to be her enemy for the day. If she sees a friend who talks to this enemy for the day, that friend will also become her enemy. In what stage of cognitive development is this behavior evident? A. Concrete operational. B. Pre-operational. C. Sensory motor. And letter D. Formal operation. So in this question, the clue will be 2. A 7-year-old child, and if she sees a friend who talks to this enemy for the day, that friend will also become her enemy. At alam naman natin na when we talk about John Piaget cognitive developmental theory, meron dong edad, tama? Kaya yung a 7-year-old child, that will serve for you as a clue. Pero paano, ma'am, hindi ko po kinabisado yung mga edad nung sa sensory motor po na yan, pre-operational na yan. So, wag pa rin mag-alala. Tingnan mo itong, if she sees a friend who talks to this enemy for the day, that friend will also become her enemy. And it suggests being self-centered. Tama? Being egoistic. Eh di ba doon sa cognitive developmental theory ni PJ, nandun yung mga characteristics na ang mga estudyante or yung mga bata on that particular stage ay meron. So ano kaya, no? Ano kaya dito yung possible answer? So kung babalikan natin yung kanina, dahil may 7-year-old tayo na clue, of course, tanggalin mo na yung mga matataas na level. So ano yung mataas na level na yon? So yun nga yung yan. So, yun yung letter D, yung formal operational stage. Tanggalin mo na yon. Kasi yun ay lagpas na sa 7-year-old. Tama? So, ano pa yung pwede mong tanggalin sa A, B, C, D bukod doon sa formal operation? So, pwede mo na rin tanggalin dito yung sensory motor. Kasi masyado naman siyang bata, di ba? That is 0 to 2 years old. So, making na ang matitira na lang na pamimilian mo because of the clue ay yung letter A, concrete operational, and letter B, pre-operational. So, tingnan mabuti. Yun nga lang, pag sinabi naman na kasi natin na concrete operational, that is 7 pataas na. Pero dito, a 7-year-old child at isa pa, masyado bang mababaw ang ibig sabihin ni Kate? Yes. So, ibig sabihin, mas mababa. And that making the answer pre-operational. That is 2 to 7 years of age. Okay? So, ganun po yung pag-rationalize, no? Lalo na kung hindi nyo talaga alam yung tinatanong. So, for the 7th one, the answer is already on the question. Hence, don't overthink. Ang isa sa pinakamahirap na mai-encounter ng isang estudyante na matalino or maraming alam ay yung pag-overthink. And mind you, my future top-notchers, isihan lang po natin, no? Cool ka lang. So, cool lang. Huwag nyo masyadong laliman yung pag-iisip. Kasi, nandun na yung sagot, tinuklaw ka na, baka hindi mo pa makita. At ano pa yung pinaka-worst? Dahil sa overthinking mo, nami-misinterpret mo na yung tanong. Nauunahan mo na yung tanong. Ang tawag nga po doon, huwag kang makipag-away sa tanong. Kung ano yung tanong, yun lang yung sagot doon. No, don't go beyond that. Okay, so let us have this item. O, di ba? Ang haba na naman. Her mother noticed that Isabel completes her task at a slower pace than usual. When she tried to investigate, she saw that Isabel was meticulously arranging her things according to their size and color. In Piaget's theory, this ability is called A. Seriation, B. Classification, B, rather, conservation. C, classification. And letter D, centration. Okay, so made a wild guess, everyone. So, my dearest future top notchers, type your answer below. So, kung titingnan mo yung tanong, highlight ko dyan and in-underline ko yung meticulously arranging her things according to their size and color. May pag-aayos, tama. So, ang una mong maiisip dyan na dalawang pwedeng sagot is seriation. Kasi in order to make series, you need to arrange things. Pangalawang sagot is classification. Pero bakit hindi magiging tama yung classification? Kasi wala namang binanggit na si Isabel ay kinategorize niya yon, no? Wala naman sinabi dito na kinategorize niya yon as for example, yung size as medium, small, and large. Wala naman ganun, tama? Ang sabi lang kasi dyan, arranging her things according to their size and color. Inayos lang naman niya. Making the answer is letter A, that is seriation. So, congratulations. If you answer seriation, you got it right. Pero pag classification, masyado ka nang nag-isip, no? You think beyond the question. So, for number, ayun nga, the answer is seriation. So, for number 8, if you can, no? So, hinihiling ko lang po sa lahat. Do not make erasures. Kung kaya mo na hindi ka mag-commit ng even one erasure, do it. Kaya nga, kailangan maging alert ka inside the testing center. Kasi, mahirap at sensitive yung pagko-commit ng mistakes. Yung pagbubura kasi, baka maapektuhan pa yung mga iba mong sagot. Kaya, if you can, do not make erasures. Then, last one, be mindful of the time, but don't pressure yourself. I've remembered when I was in the testing center, ang proctor namin talagang isinusulat niya doon sa board yung oras. O, 1 hour and 30 minutes na lang po. So, yan pinapaalala niya. Pero, hindi ko yun tinake as negative. Tinake ko yun as positive. Kasi, tinitingnan ko pa yung mga sasagutan ko. Naku, kailangan ganito ko na lang siya masagutan. Kaya, that time, mahalaga po na maging mindful ka sa oras. Hindi yan unlimited na pagsasagot. Lalong-lalo na sa Gen Ed. Napakabilis ng oras. Remember, be mindful of the time. And now, the question is, handa ka na ba? No? I hope that those tips give you an actual imagination or scenario inside the testing center. So, the last part of the destination is race to the top. Ayan. So, ano nga ba yung mga bagay na pinractice ko na naka-contribute on why today I became me, no? I became a top notcher. So, let's add some spice. So, magdagdag naman tayo ng konting kulay, no? Kasi yung mga bagay na yon, marahil narinig nyo na rin siya. Pero, please remember that kasi po yun ay proven and tested ko at talagang in-apply ko. At yun po ay talagang nanggaling from yours truly, Ma'am Mariel. So, first, do not believe only on yourself. Why? Kasi pag naniwala ka masyado sa sarili mo, hindi ka na masyado mag-effort. Tama? Ako, even I graduated magna cum laude, I didn't believe on myself that I will pass the exam. Why? Kasi masyado akong torture sa sarili ko mag-isip. Sabi ko nun, naku, paano pa yun? Ang dami dong kuha, 100,000 yun. Tapos, meron pa dong mga from PNU, from big schools, di ba? Kaya, do not believe only on yourself. Ano yung kailangan mong gawin? My dearest future top-notchers, you need to pray harder. Magdasal. Magdasal, magdasal, ng magdasal. Bakit? Kasi may mga matatalino bumabagsak. Why? Because they only believe on themselves. Sa sarili nila, kaya nila yan. At the back of their mind, kaya nila yan. Ganun lang. Pero alam nyo, kailangan itaas mo yan kay Lord. Kasi halimbawa, paano na lang tama yung mga sinagot mo, pero hindi maayos yung pag-shade mo. Pero may mga unnecessary situations and conditions ka na na-encounter. So you need to pray harder. Lalong-lalo na po on the night before the exam. And on the time that will you about to take the pencil, dasal ka. Nasabihin mo, Lord, sana gabayan mo ako. Tapos alam niyo ba, may nakakatawa pa nga kaming ginagawa do'n, no? 'Pag hindi ko talaga alam yung sagot, Lord, ano ba? C for Christ, shade, ayan. So, yun, no, nakakatawa man siya. Pero wala, no, yun na lang yung tangi mong panghahawakan. So, seek help. Magtanong ka. Lalong-lalo na doon sa mga kilala mo na top or na pasa ang board exam. And enroll in a review center. Marami sa aking nagsabi noon dati, natatandaan ko, "Ma'am, bakit po magre-review center ka pa? Ang galing-galing niyo na po, ang tali-tali niyo na po." Sabi ko, hindi po 'no. Kasi nung nag-aaral ka, ibang sipag yun at ibang journey yun. At lalong-lalo na ibang-iba po when you are going to take the exam. Kaya, enroll in a review center. Ayan. And ayan, meron po ako ditong inilagay si Mother Teresa. Alam niyo ba na nung 3 months na yon hanggang sa bago ilabas yung result ng exam, talagang winolpaper ko yang si Mother Teresa. And also, alam nyo, dito sa Pray Harder, naniwala talaga ako dyan at kumapit talaga ako dyan. So, kayo po, after you take the let, so punta po kayo sa St. Jude, so kuha ng dasal doon, and visit 9 churches. Pero dahil nga ako ay working, hindi ko siya nasunod na 9. So, per week ako nagpupunta sa iba't ibang simbahan. Pero alam nyo, nakakatuwa kasi nung last part ko na yon ay sakto. That is the week na inilabas yung result. Siguro para sa akin, talagang ibinigay yun ni Lord, no? Why? Because I made sacrifices. And you, kaya ko po ito sinasabi, not to boast myself, no, for everyone, is to give you or to make you realize na in this battle, you are not alone. There are people, especially there is God. Then, for the second one, ayan, so yan, tiging muna tayo, no? So, kain muna, kain muna mga best. Eat a lot of sweets and other food for brain a month before the exam. So, yan po yung mga ilan sa kinain ko, no? Toblerone, Goya. Kasi po sabi doon, mahalaga na ang kakainin ng mga chocolates or sweets ay yung mga dark chocolate daw. Good for the brain yan. And it will help you to be motivated always kasi it will uplift or it will increase your energy. So yan, pinakamahalaga pa is yung peanut. Ewan ko ba, no? Feeling ko minsan kapag drain na yung isip ko nun, talagang nagpapabili talaga ako or bumibili ako ng peanut. And also, tatandaan po na on the actual board, on the day before that, kung meron kayong tinitake na vitamins, so siguro wag muna kasi baka makatulog ka on the actual exam. And also, no, nakakatuwa, naaalala ko nun, nagbaan talaga ako nun ng flat tops, no, when I was in the testing center. Tapos, yung honey ko talaga na yun, binigyan ko talaga sila ng flat tops. So, kaya alam niyo, nung lumabas yung result, may nag-chat sa akin, "Ay ma'am, di ba ikaw nagbigay sa amin ng flat tops? Kaya ka pala siguro nag-top kasi nagbigay kang flat tops." Ay, natawa na lang talaga ako, no? So, yun po, second one, you need to eat a lot of sweets. And then, third one, focus. Do not procrastinate, no? Yan po ang pinakamatindi nyong makakalaban. Yung laging sasabihin nyo na sa sarili nyo, ay, okay na yan, sa susunod na lang. So, hindi po ganon. Wala po kayong dapat na aksayahin na oras. Avoid making excuses. Ay, naku marami kasing akong gagawin. Ay, sakit kasi ng ulo ko. Lagi niyo pong tatandaan na ang paglelet ay hindi isang pakikipagsapalaran na bahala na si Lord, bahala na si Batman. No, It is within you. It is on how you prepare. It is on how you make sacrifices. Then the fourth one, when in testing center, be alert. Napakarami po dong pinapapirmahan, napakarami mo dong isusulat. Then, ito yung lagi kong ginawa, no? Don't hesitate to ask questions. Natatandaan ko pa nga nung mga time na yon, hala, ano ba ako to? Paano ba to? Talagang sinulit ko yung bayad ng proctor. Pag may tanong ako, I raise my hands and then I will ask my questions politely. Kasi 'di ba, mas mahirap na magsisi ka, mas okay na lang na sabihin ng iba na, "Ano ba 'to, tanong ng tanong." Kaysa yung sa dulo magsisi ka lang. Then for the fifth one, do not answer the option E, no? So tandaan po, huwag na huwag isasagot ang option E. Kasi nga, kagaya ng sabi ko na rin kanina, actually, the Board of Examiners assume that every question has an answer. Para sa kanila, lahat ng kanilang tinatanong ay mayroong kasagutan. Ang option E kasi doon ay isasagot mo lang kung sa tingin mo ay wala doon yung sagot. Mind you, ginawa yan ng mga matatalinong tao na mas matatalino pa sa atin. Kaya, hindi sila magbibigay ng tanong na walang sagot. So, do not answer option E. Do not be overconfident. Be humble. See the board exam as your greatest challenge. Huwag na huwag ka lalo, no? Magsasabi na paglabas mo ng testing center, papasa ako. Huwag ganun. Kailangan hintayin mo talaga yung resulta. Pero wag naman to the point na magsi-self-pity ka at ikakaawawaan or bababa mo yung sarili mo. Yun tama lang, no? Be humble and do not be overconfident. Lalong-lalo na po, mahirap itong gawin pag bago ka mag-take ng exam. Alam niyo ako, when I am about to take the LET, feeling ko marami pang kulang. So, ganun. Why? Kasi, kapag overconfident ka, hindi ka na masyado mag-iisip eh. Naniniwala ako doon. Dahil, you will take it as easy as 1, 2, 3. Pero kung meron pang konting kaba dyan, tsak na tsak, you will be careful. You will be mindful. Ano ba to? Paano ba to? Yan, iisipin mo ng mabuti. Then, be careful while you are answering, especially on the answer sheet. Make sure that before you pass your answer sheet, it is neat and clean. Pero ipapaalala naman yan. So, inuunahan ko na, sinasabi ko po na may mga time talaga na yung iba, that's why they failed the board. It is not that they didn't know the answer, na hindi sila magaling. No, it is a big no-no. Kasi may mga bagay na hindi nila na-control. So, natatandaan ko noon, meron sa akin nag-chat, Ma'am, sabi ko, bakit? Bakit? Kasi po, hindi ako nakapasa. Bakit po ako, ma'am? Sabi kong gano'n. Kasi po, natapunan po ng sarsa ng menudo yung answer sheet ko. Imagine that. Ang galing-galing ng teacher na yon. So, make sure na careful ka doon sa answer sheet. Then, invest on your reviewers if possible. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na, ikaw, kailangan mo i-pressure yung nanay mo or sino pa man para ibili ka ng reviewers. Pero kung kaya po, you need to invest on that. Why? Because you need to buy updated reviewers. Hindi rin po magiging makabuluhan ang pagbabasa ng mga review books kung ito ay mga outdated na o yung mga matagal na. Kung kaya, bumili ng mga bago. And as an end, I want you to live this quotation or ito yung para sa akin, this is real, the secret why I became a top-notcher. That is dreams. Una, mangarap ka. Vision yourself. Envision yourself that you will be somebody, that you will be someone else. But, remind you, do not be overconfident. Do not be boastful. Tamang pangarap lang. Mangarap ka para sa sarili mo. Mangarap ka para sa mga magulang mo. Then, hindi sapat na merong pangarap ka lang. Kasama din diyan yung hard work para makuha mo yung pangarap mo. And then afterwards, you need to pray, no? Dreams, prayers is equal to success. Then, promise, my dearest future top-notchers. So, isang ulit dyan, papasaba, magtatap. So, sabay-sabay ulit, is this your last board exam? This is my last board exam. So, tatandaan, dreams plus hard work plus prayers is equal to success. At ito po yung aking Bible verse na talagang pinanghawakan nun, no? Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Maniwala ka lang at ipagdasal mo, no? So, again, this is Miss Mariel Artabadera, Top 8, Tatak NUST. And I do believe that you are now the next top notcher. Thank you, NUST, San Isidro Campus, for making time and also for the important person na nagbigay po at nag-arrange ng webinar na ito. Maraming salamat po. So again, NUST San Isidro, is this your last board exam? This is your last board exam. Papasa ba? Magtatap. Thank you and God bless us all.